Hey, good evening. How we doing?
Doing good, buddy, and yourself?
Oh, it's been a busy day here, but that's okay. It's a little nicer. So I even ran to town, took a bull to sail, got back, worked on a tank. I was just kind of doing them little things that I didn't do while it was 100 degrees out.
You got to do that. You don't want to get too sweated up. Get
Yeah,
enough of
no
that
kidding.
watching politics.
Hey, Krampus is out in the swath there tonight. I know he's knocking down a little hay, so get her put up while you can.
Appreciate you listening.
Eric, good evening. Hey, Shiloh, good evening. Thanks for joining us. And I put out a question to everybody. I said, quick question to everyone. Do you like it when we have guests on from time to time? Because Jamie and I have talked about that. Maybe doing it once or twice a month. We'll see. Or would you rather see those special episodes like we did with John Armin? I thought that went really well. It was received real well. So it's something we're talking about doing. And if things go right, we're gonna have that guy on that made the comment about Carlos.
Yeah, him and his boys, probably by the sounds of it, right? From Ray's hunting. In fact, hey, I was at home at lunch today and the show was on.
Yeah, I just I think it's a good idea. But before we get going too much, why don't we start this off? Why don't you give us that Second Amendment, James?
Oh, absolutely. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
All right. Absolutely.
Unless you're the Fargo City Commission, Clay, which we're going to get into.
We're just going to get right into that. Ain't we? Here, go through a few of these. Gene, good evening, Gene. And yes, we got the stuff for the Mole Bridge gun show. I'll tell you what, as long as we're talking on that.
Yeah, let's do it real quick here.
Up right now. Basically, we got the Dakota Territory Gun Collectors Gun Show. I think Gene can correct me, but I believe that's the first time in Mobridge. It's at the Shire Howe, I think that's how you pronounce it, Event Center down there in Main Street in Mobridge, September 9th through the 10th. And I think you just contact Gene. I think everything's covered up on our deal here.
Yeah, I didn't have full screen on it.
Just a second here. Try to bring this all up for everybody so you can actually see it. See, we got a little technical glitch here.
Say Clay's the Master Blaster.
Little
Thunderdome reference for you there.
Thunderdome.
Evening, Shiloh.
There it is right there. So you can contact Gene Cox's for podcasters, 605-848-2427. Admission is $10. And you get a chance on a Henry Lever action. Right now they got over 100 tables. It's going to be a great gun show, guys, over there. Gene, we did have another banner printed up. I know I'm going to be in Rapid.
Who's doing that for us, Clay?
Mr. Rick over there at Signs and Wonders, great patriot in Bismarck, right there.
It's right behind me and the one behind Clayton. Thanks,
Airport
Rick,
Road, if
awesome.
I remember right.
What's that?
He's right down Airport Road, if I remember right, off the expressway to the north. So, yeah, if you want someone to print up anything for you, he's your guy, guys. He really is.
He's one of us.
He's one of us, and you know what? He might end up being a Patriot Company of the Week one of these weeks.
Yeah, he might.
I bet we might even be able to get him on. I bet money.
Yeah, I think we should actually. So, evening, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. My mom just chimed in there.
Awesome,
love whatever you do. Thank you.
Eric, good to see you guys. One Shot Cap. Gene, hey, Vance, down from Georgia. Vance, I missed the Sportsman's Watch. When I saw that, I was actually on the road, so I didn't get a chance to listen to it or watch it, but I'll try to go then and tune in on that. Dan Brown, good to see you this evening. We haven't seen Dan for a couple of weeks. So
no, back. Run on it for a while there.
And Trampa says, if you guys aren't careful, you might be on every night.
I don't know about that one, but
we've had people say that already, and people like to see us on K-Fire every day, for an hour. Jamie and I both are not looking for a full-time job right now.
Once a week wouldn't be bad.
Once a week would be okay. And I can tell you how you make that happen. You got to call Todd and tell him. I know that's how that works. Call him up, 701-258-0550. That'll get you in there, and you can just talk to Todd and let him know what you think. We've talked about it. We really have.
Number out too, if you want to text.
Yeah. Gene says, yep, it's the first time that Dakota Territory's done one in Mulbridge. So, yeah, go over there and support it. Gene, if I get back in time on Saturday from Rapid, I'm thinking about coming home on Saturday because we're going to go down on Thursday now. Going down for the big Trump rally there on Friday the 8th. So,
oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
He's decked out in a G&T701 gear, baby.
Oh, you bet.
South Dakota's representing big R's down there at the Buffalo Chip, rolling around concerts wearing the guns in the 701 cap. Appreciate that, big R. You're awesome. And now Clay's going down there. Hopefully you get close enough to President Trump to get a snap with him. And and then
got to get a signature on
well,
this
you
hat.
really want to be president. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, tell him our caps aren't as funny looking as the one he wears either. So
I should make a solid red one though, just for him.
right? Yeah, you should.
So, but anyway, we are definitely looking forward to going to that. If I get back in time, I'll run over to Mobridge. I just don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see how the evening goes down there on
worry about meeting Trump first.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Gene, we do have a banner. It but got printed today, I believe. So I'm probably going to mail that down to you. That way you've got it, and we appreciate that. So, and Eric's like, give him a hat and a shirt. I'm taking one along. I can tell you that. We'll see. I don't know what we can take in and what we can't. I imagine it's going to be pretty secure. But
I'll just give him the one off your head.
There you go. So, all right.
And real quick, before we hit our first, so I got a different setup here for my quote studio. My buddy Randy Moss hooked me up with a pretty sweet table here. It's not some flimsy card table, but I'm at a different angle in here, so I'm trying to figure out how not to get an echo when I'm talking, because I had everything set up for so long with my other mic. But we're going with it right now. So
we'll get you a boom, then you'll be set.
Yeah, I'm getting a boom for sure. This thing next week's gonna be bye. So hopefully, if they got
not get it at Walmart. He found out nobody's got it in there.
I won't say which Walmart, but man, the two guys working in the electronics department, they're completely, almost utterly worthless. So
yeah. So
all right, Clayton.
Well, I'm gonna let you take lead on this, baby, and this is about Fargo, of course. Fargo is the mecca of liberalism, just little Minneapolis over there.
Yeah. Yep. So Fargo is they got a home rule ordinance there, Clay, that does not allow its residents to utilize their FFLs out of their homes, right?
Okay.
So the article here, we got it off of the AP News. So hey, this is nonpartisan, right? The AP.
Yeah, Associated Press.
Yeah, Fargo is suing the state of North Dakota over a new law that bans zoning ordinances related to guns and ammunition, continuing a clash over local gun control. Second Amendment infringement, actually. The state's biggest city has an ordinance that bans people from selling guns and ammunition out of their homes. The Republican-controlled legislature passed a law this year that limits cities and counties from regulating guns and ammunition. The law also voids existing related ordinances. The city's lawsuit says the stakes are much higher and get at whether the legislature can strip away Fargo's Second Amendment banning home rule powers. Fargo voters approved the home rule charter in 1970. Really? So they were leftist turds back before I was before I was born, huh? Wow. That gave the city commission certain powers, including the power to zone public and private property.
Well,
and so let me go into one more thing here, Clay, and then we'll hit it more. And as it relates to this present action, the North Dakota Legislative Assembly is upset that the city of Fargo has exercised its home rule powers to prohibit the residents of the city of Fargo and no one else from the home occupation of selling firearms and ammunition and the production of ammunition for sale, the lawsuit states. Effectively, the city of Fargo does not want its residents to utilize their homes in residential areas as gun stores.
Oh, there's lots of things wrapped up in this. So, as you and we talked about this earlier and a little bit earlier even tonight, the Second Amendment's not up for compromise. So, is the state infringing on the city of Fargo? No, because they're already violating the Second Amendment. Let's just face it. They are trying to impose something that is stronger and more stringent than the 27 words that we recite before every single show. Now, that being said, it's not a gun store. Let's face it. Most guys that get an FFL for their personal use, I mean, they do. They want to be able to buy guns at cost. They want to be able to have, ammunition maybe drop shipped into your place of residency. It's not a gun store. Not only that, private sales are not illegal to begin with. So anybody can sell a gun out of their house to another individual in Fargo, and there's not a darn thing they can do about it. So this bill, or this ordinance that they passed, is just yet another leftist ideology, and they're going to force you to do it. And they had enough people to vote it in, and that's what it comes down to. And my hat's off to Mr. Ben Koppelman for bringing this, because
he's got little man disease, according to Joel the Troll.
According to Joel,
that's why he did this. Yeah. He's got little man. He's got little man syndrome. That's why he wants you to have your civil rights.
And that's exactly what he said too, old little Joel.
Exactly what he said.
little redheaded stepchild. Anyway, and old pork chop out there, he was doing the same thing, talking about
Yeah,
smack.
porthole.
Yeah,
Porthole.
basically talking the same kind of smack. And Fargo is a leftist place. It's getting worse every year.
Well,
and this
obviously
is
since
just another
1970
example.
even. So what,
Yep.
like Clay and I were talking earlier, what if we don't want to come up with we get the stack the city um
With our
city,
people.
yeah, with our people, and then we're like, you know what? I guess I don't think I want women who think like Democrats to vote. I mean, it's a charter. You can't change that. I mean, it's our home. It's our little rule we got here in Fargo. You know, you can't change that now.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what you could do. I mean, under their thinking and under their thought process here, and their attorney basically said that exact thing. So we should be able to do that then, according to that guy's argument against the case. Yeah,
I'm laughing at Gene's comment here. Next, Fargo will say the guns are coming from Castleton, which what he's saying is Chicago, particularly Illinois, says all the guns are coming in from Indiana because
right.
Yeah,
and I got to put this one up here too. Scott,
ahead,
he put up here. He says, "I am super satisfied with your sponsor, Lau Auto Repair. Doug and the guys are great. Hey, we appreciate you going in there, Scott, and having some work done. And I can't agree more. Doug and the crew down there just do a phenomenal job. Otherwise, you know what? We probably wouldn't have them here. So you can take our word for it that this is one of the best auto repair stations right there in Bismarck, North Dakota. So again, thank you for going in and supporting our sponsors."
And Doug says, thanks for the opportunity, Scott.
Yep, there you go. Doug's listening. All right.
Yes,
hey, we were just up at Doug's this weekend. I tell you what, that was a blast. Look for the videos. We're not going to go into
We got a few up. We got a few shorts. Yep.
Yeah, and we had a great time. It just, yeah.
Oh,
Eric, you should have been there. We were shooting the big 454 Casol out of the rifle.
See what it did to my arm?
Yeah. You look like you got in a gunfight.
Looks like the gun won on that
one. So, all right, let's get back to topic.
Yeah. All right. So you want to read this thing here from Ben Koppelman, Clay?
Yeah, I can go on. He basically got interviewed, and he told the state Senate panel in April, that was this past April, that the issue came to greater attention in 2016 when, because of the ordinance, and that is, this ain't just in Fargo, by the way, guys. I didn't look at Bismarck's charters, but I can tell you right now in Mandan, North Dakota, they've done it. So we got an issue in Mandan too, and that's a whole other story. David Fedding's the one that brought that to my attention here this spring. So they tried to shut down a guy who's trying to get an FFL, even though David already had one, but whole other subject here. Anyway, he told the Senate panel that the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives refused to renew the federal firearms licenses of Fargo dealers who sold out of their homes. Now, that leads to a new thing coming out too. That's going to be, we're being attacked everywhere, and I'll just tell you right now, it's going to show up in our bullet points tonight. But ATF, if they know that you have a ordinance like that within your city, then they will not issue an FFL, or they're going to cancel, or they're going to revoke an FFL. I mean, they've already up 500% of revocations on FFLs, and most of them guys are what they like to call, and Clinton's the one that deemed this term, kitchen top dealers. And you know what? That's just ridiculous. In fact, my argument would be, if you have an FFL and it's based out of your home as a business, you still got to follow all the rules. You got to have the safes, you got to have the locks, you have to have it secure. But I would bet money that the people doing business that way, they know 90 to 99% of their customers, because they're not doing it as a business. They're doing it as a hobby. Most of them have their own real jobs. That's what their income comes from. Firearms is their hobby, and they might have got their FFL for a lot of different reasons. Maybe they wanted to buy their own guns and not have to deal with it. Maybe they wanted to have a little extra income. Maybe they wanted to work on guns and they wanted to actually follow the law. So they got an FFL license. There's different types. No one understands that either. So we're not going to go into those details because we could be here for 2 hours. But there's nothing wrong with an at-home one. And yeah, Ben brought this up because it's an ATF.
Because he's got little man's disease.
Yeah, it must be little man. Ben, don't listen to that crap.
That wasn't me, Joel. Ben. That was your fellow Fargo man, Joe Heitkamp there saying that.
Tell him go wipe his hiney while we take a Joel. Anyway,
I met Ben. I guess I don't think he's that little of a guy. But
no, Ben's a hell of a good guy, and I can tell you right now, it ain't probably bugging him, but I know Ben would even go on Joel's show. It would be funny.
It bugs me because Joel's can't say it, but
yeah.
So Ben, he goes on here, compliment. He's 100% right. He says, What is that issue is whether we want local governments creating gun control or whether we want gun legislation to remain a state-controlled issue. Without this bill, and in light of the 2021 court opinion, I think local political subdivisions could propose all sorts of gun control. And based on the anti-gun tracker to the City of Fargo Commission, I think we could expect it. Guaranteed, you can expect
Guaranteed
it. They do it in other states. They do it all the time. And you can make all these laws, Clay. Like, let's just say we finally, all right, everybody do what they want in every city. You couldn't carry your gun or transport a gun anywhere without breaking the freaking law in North Dakota.
You could go from city to city and not even know you're breaking a law.
Yeah.
And again, this is about a right. This is not about, do we have different traffic laws in our town, or do we have different? No. This is about the Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment is not to be compromised. It's not a thing you compromise. Therefore, it's the Second Amendment. 27 words. They protect you from infringement. It's your right. And then to me, infringement is hindering your ability to sell or purchase a firearm as a law-abiding citizen. So to me, this is completely within the realm. And I would imagine if anyone really wanted to fight this thing, they could take it all the way. It'd be a long process because you first got to go through the local courts and the district courts and the state courts, and then you start appealing to the federal courts if you don't get the right decision. But if it did end up in the Supreme Court, I imagine that they would be found, they'd rule in favor of, guess what? Getting rid of the home rule.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about it.
Well, hey, the Fargo voters approved this home rule charter, Clay. So, so like the city commission now, they're the Supreme Court there. Is that how that works, right?
Well, it's kind of like when people say we have a democracy. No, we don't. Mob rule is never going to work, okay? That's what that is.
That's what a democracy is.
The people might say, hey, no, democracy is literally 50% plus one. And then it's mob rule. It's not going to work. It's kind of like the five foxes around a hen voting who's for dinner, right?
Well, why don't they just say, why don't the city ordinance just say, hey, we're gonna make a charter here because the people voted it in. Trump flags piss people off in Fargo. You can't fly them anymore. That just starts fights and encourages violence. And that's the kind of stupid shit they can do with this. And believe me, they're leftists. They'll do it.
Some municipalities have done that that exact thing. They say it's everything, so we're not going to let you fly none. Oh, property.
What this is all coming from here again is because of this Mohammed Barakat shot these, and the guy was on. I hate to say his name again, but whatever. Joel Heitkamp's show. Clay and I talked about him last week. Saying that like selling guns out of your house is this big problem in Fargo. And of course they wanted the triggers banned and all this other crap, and they're leftists. They want everything banned. But funny thing is, when looking at this article, Clay, there was a few other embedded articles within this article, right?
Yep.
And so I'll say the first one here, Clay. In 2021, the Fargo. The FBI got a tip about a guy from somebody who said the guys, they were worried about his mental state, saying he had access to a significant number of firearms and he was using threatening language. Guess who this guy was, Clay? In 2021, it was Mohammed Barakat down in Fargo. Right?
Had to be the asylum-seeking Syrian
refugee. Just here for a better life, Clayton.
Yep, just here for a better life. Let's not forget, this was a guy brought in under that program. Now, I don't remember if by that time Luther Social Services had went bankrupt, and this was under the Health and Human Services. That Doug Burgum, by the way, the guy that's running for president, said, "Bring them on in. We want them. Go ahead. Since they're not going to do it, we're going to do it as the state." That's your tax dollars now going directly to them. But I don't remember who brought them in.
So the FBI forwarded this information to the Fargo PD. And detectives made a visit to Barakat's apartment over a 2-week period. They didn't make any contact with him until the third visit, and they observed several firearms in the apartment. But guess what, Clay? Which I'm kind of torn over this whole deal because now we know what he did, but previous to this, none of the guns that he possessed, he didn't possess them illegally, right? In an interview, of course, he denied any ill intentions. So they couldn't take any further action, right? Which, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of, exactly. If the guy didn't do anything wrong,
you can't arrest him. He did nothing wrong. What they could have done is they could have actually watched the guy. I mean, obviously there was a red flag.
I'd have been racist, Clay.
Absolutely. No, you know, that's another term that, oh my goodness.
And then, so Clayton, after that one, what happened again in 2022? Did you catch this one or?
No, I didn't catch that one.
Okay, so here we go. So this story starts out. So that last one was 2021. Here's the next one, and here's how this is still again from AP News. So the gunmen, they really start this off ominous here. Which I'm not trying to downplay what he did, but they got an agenda. The gunman who last month killed a Fargo police officer and wounded 2 others and a civilian admitted to owning nearly a dozen guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition in a 2022 interview, Clayton, following a kitchen fire at his home. So guess what happened? He had a fire in his kitchen, right? Firefighters come in there. Firefighters notified police after seeing guns, ammo, and propane tanks in his apartment, according to a report provided to AP by the Fargo Fire Department. Battalion Chief Jason Ness noted what appeared to be a significant amount of gun ammunition, multiple assault-style rifles, a 20-round propane cylinder in a bedroom, and a second similar propane cylinder in a kitchen, a funnel, blender, and other items that looked to be for measuring purposes. This is his report on September 6, 2022. FPD, Fargo police determined everything was legal with the gun collection. Again, the individual admitted to owning approximately 10 guns and, oh my God, 6,000 rounds of ammunition.
6,000?
6,000. My decision to refer the issue to PD was based on the presence of the guns, several high-cap magazines, and the presence of propane tanks with no means of using the tanks for cooking or grilling. Fargo City spokesman Katie Edish told the AP that police officers observed several guns in Barackett's apartment during the fire call. Again, none were illegal possessed. Barackett also was not prohibited from acquiring or possessing firearms.
No, and that's just it. He was not breaking the law as far as getting his firearm. What I do wonder, because I know even Lemon and some of these smaller towns, the fire ordinances do not allow you to have an abundance of, say, propane bottles, compressed gas within your home. I mean, you can have the little green ones, but there are issues with that. I imagine Fargo's got something. I mean, they like to pass every ordinance under the sun.
They're too their intentions preordained about trying to get your Second Amendment civil rights taken. We don't know worried about propane tanks.
And they're not worried about fire codes and fire. I mean, I would imagine that would have had to give them some kind of probable cause. I mean, they like to look for every other way to do it, but who knows? I don't know.
But so again, like I said, what I'm torn about is, now that we know what he did, but the guy wasn't doing anything illegal. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's just it. Gene puts in there, goes, Trump supporter would have been in Guantanamo for those tanks.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always said when they talk about the NICS, the National Instant Background Check System, which, and I know I've pissed off some people because I don't support it. I think all it does is put another undue responsibility on myself, you, and even the FFL dealer. That system is obviously broken. And of course, the other side, they see it don't work, so we got to have this. No, more regulation. And
we need to crawl up your end even farther, me boy.
Yeah, is not the answer. And evil people do evil things. Now, maybe what Fargo should do is quit. What do I say? I know that they're pretty hardcore on people that want to carry concealed or open in that town. I myself being one that was questioned pretty hard when I was openly carrying. And I had every right to do so, and that didn't go well for them. After about 5 cops were surrounding me. Not my first time. I've done that in Rapid and several. So I love going to the liberal towns like Sioux Falls and places like that. Take an AR and sling it over your shoulder and walk down the street, Jamie. Oh, you get some attention. Even though it's not illegal. It's not illegal.
No.
But this guy obviously had an issue. Fargo passing their little ordinances, obviously that's not going to work. You can already do private sales. I mean, I'd like to ask these Fargo commissioners, so what they're saying is then maybe they want to regulate private sales too? I mean, are they saying that?
That's what he's. Yeah, remember the guy who was on
I
the city
know.
commission, and previously to that, the school board thought you should go to a place like Shields. That's the only place
Yep.
you should be able to buy guns.
And that's why I led you into that, because here's the commie that said that right there,
Yeah,
Commissioner
there
John
he
Strand.
is.
I listened to that
Not
whole
only
thing.
that, he organized the BLM. What do I want to call it? Mini riots down there in Fargo where they wrecked everything and tried to confront people and tried to
he
get
was
aggressive.
all for it.
Yeah, he organized them. He was not front and center because he's a
made
beta
a
male,
comment.
but he wanted everybody else to wreck shit.
None of this stuff like binary triggers and AR. We shouldn't have none of it, according to this guy.
Hey, he's
none
a gun guy. Clay, his brother's at FFL.
Oh yeah, he had his credentials.
I don't know if they talk to him anymore or anything, but
probably not.
Yeah. All right. So Clayton, let's do our first break here.
Yep. Go for it.
Apologize to Dougie again. I'm going to quit.
Hey, why didn't we record a new one when I was up there? It's okay.
We're going to get the message out, though. I know it's older, but we're getting the message out. Here we go. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored Guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
You know, part of that's still right. Now it's coming up to the wintertime and all the pothole holes and the broken pavement. You're still seeing some damage.
You know what else is right, Clay? I swung by there today quick, and guess what Doug was working on? Dodge Ram. AC. He's working on air conditioning.
I bet he's been busy with that.
Yeah.
One quick thing before we move on to what they're talking about. And this was this was House Bill 1340, guys. 1340 had some detractors. You want to know what one of the 6 votes of no were? And that was Mr. Cleary, unfortunately, Sean Cleary. And I think he's in your district.
He is. He's my senator.
You guys need to reach out to him. What district is that again?
D35.
D35. Reach out to Sean and just have a good discussion and ask him why. I mean, we know what he said, but as you can see, that does not apply when it comes to the Constitution. It just does not.
Right. I was going to say.
And he was one of 2 Republicans that joined those other 4. And he was the only one that I could see on that entire list that looked like he was from an area other than Fargo or West Fargo. Otherwise, it was all Fargo and West Fargo people. So,
yeah. And listen, these home rule charters, maybe they are legal and constitutional, but when they infringe on your rights, they're not. So that's the whole deal with this.
And I want you to know, guys, too, that it was 41. This is out of the Senate. 41 yays and 6 nays. So it was pretty overwhelmingly big support there at the legislature. I mean, there's more than just those few Democrats in there. So obviously not everybody shared their view either, but 41-6. So, and there were 0 absent and 0 excused and not voting. All right.
Yeah. Now we knew that was going to be trouble when we first heard it. So here it is.
Yeah, and it's going to end up.
See what the Supreme Court says.
See what they say. See where it goes from there. Fargo was successful the first time. North Dakota Supreme Court.
Yeah, they tried a couple years ago,
and I can tell you this right now: they did. They made some changes in it, so that should help because it actually specifically references firearms, ammunition, the Second Amendment. I mean, this one's pretty specific when you start referencing stuff like that. So let's hope that this is the one that doesn't get struck down. If it does, I mean, there is some avenues. The state can appeal it. They really can. But then you have that whole long thing. And do you want the feds to get involved at that point or just come with a better bill, in 25? I don't know. They'll have to make that decision. We'll see where it goes.
Yep. All right, Clay. Speaking of more guns, we're going to get our next topic here.
Yes.
22s. Is that you think 22? I mean, that's just like your plinking thing, right? And you always tell people, oh yeah, you can shoot me a 22. You're better off, with something else. And I'm always like, I'd definitely rather not get shot than get shot. But there's some companies are making self-defense specific ammunition.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And there's 3 of them we're gonna go over here for you. First one we're gonna hit on, Clay, is Winchester. Everybody knows Winchester guns and ammunition, and they got one called the Silver Tip Rimfire. And the thing they do about these self-defense rounds is they make them. They got different powders in them, so they still maintain enough power to get deep penetration. Yep. Compared to like whatever your standard 22. And Winchester, they got powders tailored for common personal defense firearms. And theirs is a 37 grainer, segmented hollow point, which theirs blows into 4 different pieces. Even out of what do they got here, their 2-inch barrel or whatever, you're getting 1,060 feet per second out of this small barrel on this Winchester. Got plenty of energy. They also come in, and these 3 also come in Winchester and in Win Mags, right?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, you get the 22 Magnum. It comes with that as well.
Yep.
And you get a so you're thinking, God, it's probably got to be steep, right? Even now, I looked up the price of all these. So I think I went on Midway USA. No, they don't do anything with us. But yeah,
they can.
Yeah, they can. Hey, Larry. Hey, Potsy, we're ready, man.
Come on, Mr. Potter.
In fact, I just ordered something from them today. So, but yeah, the segmented hollow point, a box of 50, $9, Clay. I mean, that's definitely affordable for about pretty much anybody, right?
It should be. Most people waste that.
And I mean, you're going to get way deeper penetration and more damage, tissue damage when your life's on the line here, instead of just shooting your regular old hollow point, maybe go in 2 inches and blow up, and you get somebody, a bigger person, or somebody wild and crazy. That ain't gonna affect them. And I think that's where the whole thing comes from. I think Marty Beard actually told me he knows somebody. These guys were going after a coon under a trailer, and a guy shot and hit his buddy in the forehead with the hollow point out of a Ruger 10. Never penetrated, splattered on this guy's forehead and blew all the skin off, and the guy was screaming at him. I think he shot him again, and the same thing happened. And it's unbelievable to me that didn't go into his skull, but the guy must have some hard bones. But yeah,
I actually was doing some looking around too, and you had the Federal 22, that in the punch. I think there was
let's talk about that a little bit. So the Winchester and the Federal. The Winchester is a segmented, like I said, it's going to blow into 4 different parts. I actually have some Winchester varmint that's segmented. I don't know if that's the same thing, and they just renamed it as a self-defense thing. But
David Fetting, he had to chime in here. It's hard to spend that money on ammo, but you can really afford to skimp on your defense ammo.
Well, hey, they advertise as defense ammo. That's what I'm saying. I bet you if you run that segmented hollow point into your chest, it's. I didn't see any ballistics gel on this, but I did on the CCI here in the southern. But the CCI, this isn't a segmented. This one's made to pedal out and hold all of its weight here, right, Clayton? This is a 32 grain. The Winchester's a 37. The CCI is a 32, and nose skiving, whatever that means. I guess I don't know what a skiv nose is. Somebody, Gene probably does, or Dave.
I bet David or Gene could tell us. Yeah.
He initiates full and reliable expansion through 2.5 to 4 inch handgun barrels while it retains all its weight. So, and 32 grains, I mean, if you shoot something with a 223 or AR or something, soft point, or a lot of times you're just going to end up with 32 grains left in that thing. Yeah. And they claim they got an unwaxed bullet, so that reduces fouling and improves feeding in all conditions. I've never. A lot of people say it about waxed bullets. I've never had any. There you go, Marty said true story. They were CCI mini mags.
There you go. Hey, Marty.
Oh, and the muzzle velocity on these CCI uppercuts 950, and I think they're reading that out of this 2.5 inch barrel, and $12.99 for 50 of those. I don't know why they cost way more than the Winchesters, but they do, Clayton. And the most interesting one I saw, though, right, is this last one here, Clay, from Federal. You got that one?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the Federal
you're
one,
talking about on
I
the punch, right?
I watched this. I watched a ballistics gelatin one on the it's called the Personal Defense Rimfire from Federal Premium. It's called the Punch. The Punch, 29 grain. This is it's nickel plated flat nose. I watched a video. Iraq Vet 8888's got one of this and this, and I think it was a CCI one. And man, this punch thing actually went in like 14 or something inches into the ballistics gel. It didn't open like the other one, but like the initial wound cavity, it put some good energy into it. And I don't know. I think I might actually take this one if you're looking for penetration, because I mean, if it's going in that far, 13 inches, and you hit somebody in the right spot, you're definitely going to hit them in the heart. Or if you get a headshot, I mean, that thing, and they're going to splatter on their forehead like Marty's buddy is going in. and even into that, and you know, they all these things got like the nickel plated cases. They're saying like, you know, so they don't get corroded, and the extraction and everything's working fine. And like I said, this one's a 29 grain. Muzzle velocity out of this thing through the short barrel, through the 2-inch barrel, was 1,070. So Clay, out of it's like a 24-inch 22. What do you think the muzzle velocity would be out of that with this thing?
Oh, jeez,
it's way higher. It's way higher than 1,070. I was actually surprised.
I was going to put about 12 to 13.
Oh no, you're way low. 1650 out of the 24 incher.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's really
and I mean that's smoking. He shot it. I think the guy Iraq Vet, he shot it through like 2 ballistic gel, if I remember right, and it I think it went through 2 16-inch ballistics gelatins. Yeah. So if you got a rifle in your house, even whatever you got, if you got a 1022, obviously they don't have a 24-inch barrel. They got an 18, but you know, take off about 150 feet per second, you're still going 1,500 feet per second with that. Because, you know, non-magnum calibers per inch, you lose about 25 feet per second. But in that, Clay, $10.99 for 50 of those. So I mean, I'm probably going to get some of these. The thing about like people and 22s aren't. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, if you got a wife or if you got daughters and they're not like really into firearms, like my youngest one definitely is. She'll be a 9mm person. My oldest, I might have to push her to carry some, but she definitely, and she can shoot when she wants to. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, like a 22, or my wife especially doesn't. So I mean, if I can I have plenty of 22s, and if I'm not home, I can leave one here with that in there, and I'm perfectly happy with that.
I was gonna say, well, I'll tell you what, I pulled up on the Federal Punch. So I don't know if you want to. Should we take a quick look at that?
Yeah, why don't you play that video?
I'm just going to do the one test here, and then if we need to, we can keep doing some.
Yeah,
as we talk.
He's got a little bitty handgun there with like a 3.5 inch. It looks like a Ruger with a 3.5-inch barrel or something. But
yeah, and like I said, this is the Federal Punch ammunition, and I was impressed here. He's got some ballistic gel, so let's take a look.
Ruger LCP2 here, loaded up with the new Federal Punch. I'm roughly 6 feet away from a clear ballistic gel block, and I've got a t-shirt, and so this punch is going to go through 2 layers, hopefully go through 2 layers of cotton into this block. We'll see how much penetration we will get. And this stuff is very loud. I didn't have my ears in good. All right, let's take a look.
I was going to say that sounded loud.
Yeah. Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at that initial wound channel, man. That's blowing up good. That's rocking some organs there. That thing went deep.
Super impressed with this.
Me too.
You can look at the temporary and the permanent wound cavity coming in right at the beginning, and we got about 10 inches of penetration on this after going through 2 layers of cotton on a pretty heavy t-shirt. So
yeah,
I am happy with that. Now let's shoot it with that Beretta with a little bit longer barrel, see if we actually get a little bit more penetration. All right, my ears are in a little bit better this time. So got the Beretta. This has got a roughly like a 5.5-inch barrel, 5 3/4 if I remember correctly. And let's see if we get a little bit more penetration compared to that 2-inch Ruger LCP. Take it off of safety, Dave.
Yeah, that sounds like
one
us.
job.
Don't worry, Dave. We all do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh wow, look at that.
Whoa!
Darn near went through it.
I thought it was going to go all the way. That's pretty good.
That's
at an angle yet. Oof.
Look at that.
That's big. That's definitely big.
All right.
The wound channel.
I wasn't completely expecting to see this. Look at that wound cavity on that second shot. Now,
right there, man, I don't want to get hit.
The bullet almost went all the way through. So you're looking at, this is a 16-inch block. So you're looking at about 14 and a quarter inches of penetration just out of that 22 pistol. But that wound cavity is just crazy. All right, now I'm going to shoot it with the revolver right here. And we're going to see if we have any difference, because a lot of people want to see what it will do out of a revolver. I think it's going to be closer to the first shot, because this also has a 2-inch barrel. Some gas is going to be escaping out of this cylinder, so it's going to be close to the first one, I have a feeling. So anyways, let's back up, reset everything, do it again. All right, last but not least, little 2-inch snub nose revolver.
Ears out again?
What's that?
Nothing, I'm just being...
Well, I hit it.
You hit it.
Like his ominous music.
Oh,
that's pretty good. He right in between them.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. That's pretty good too.
It is.
2-inch barrel.
All right. So just as I suspected, the Taurus with the 2-inch barrel, I'm talking there's only maybe 1/8 of an inch difference. So you're going to get probably about 10 inches of penetration out of a 2-inch barrel going through 2 layers of cotton here. So if it wasn't going through this cotton, it would probably go in another inch and a half further. But you're probably dying to know, how does this actually compare to a Stanger? All right, Stanger's moving pretty quick. It's a 32 grain bullet traveling at 1,640 feet per second out of a rifle. Is that bullet design superior to that of a Stanger? So let me load up that little 2-incher again, shoot this, and you can make your own decision.
I'm going to say that Stinger's going in like 5 inches, Clay.
Yeah, well, we'll go look at that. So I just want to kind of talk about this. So he used basically, 3 different guns there, 2 semi-autos, and
by the way, he's doing a good job. Who is this guy like this?
Oh, I don't even know. I think he's just with. I really don't know.
Personal.
22 Plinkster right there.
Okay. Guys. Oh yeah, this guy's super popular then.
So we'll go ahead and subscribe to him while we're here. Anyway, this is live.
That 22 Plinkster. Thank you. You're doing an awesome job. I love it.
But so I mean, you look at what he did there. He took the LCP, which it did a job. I'm not a big fan. That is not the firearm I would carry, but they are popular. I know a lot of people that.
I mean, 2-inch barrel. That thing went in that far. It
did well. And then of course he used that Beretta and all that. Like you said, you called it. Yeah, that's going to be weak. But now the little revolver, I can tell you right now, that was pretty impressive. It kept right up there with the Beretta, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of people, and I have an article sitting here, and I'm not really going to go over it a whole lot, but basically that guy, he didn't think a 22 really was a defense gun. It's up to you. I could tell just by the way he wrote it, and he had some stuff there, and a lot of different reasons as to why. And but I can tell you this: watching that video and we're not even to the Stingers yet, but I'm telling you, the 22 or 22 mag, I wouldn't want to be hit by one.
No, that's a 22. They make these in Magnum too, Clayton, like you said.
And I'm pretty confident knowing that most encounters in self-defense are very close quarters. It's very close up and personal.
Oh, yeah.
It'll do what you want it to do, and that's defend yourself. Now, if your intent is to kill that person, different situation. But if your intent is to actually defend yourself, then you're good. I think a 22 or 22 mag, if you're comfortable carrying it and shooting it, that's going to do the job. Now, it's like anything else. Get proficient with your firearm. Get out there, shoot it, put some downrange, and know how that firearm shoots. And that's basically, to me, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah. Now imagine that through a dang rifle, man. That's really, I mean, hey, Clay. So schools, people are always worried about if we actually let teachers and staff arm themselves. You have a Ruger 1022 or a Smith & Wesson M&P 22 in there, loaded up with 25 rounds of these babies. School shooter.
I'm telling you,
I guess you're in trouble.
It is. And, I know the first thing they're going to say, well, what if he's wearing body armor? Every time I've seen them guys shoot him in the face,
shoot his knees out.
For the knees, the feet, whatever it is, but put the.
They can keep going if you shoot him in the knee, JD. Not if your kneecap explodes. That's like a freaking grenade. I guarantee they're going to be laying there screaming.
You don't have to do center mass, especially in a situation like that.
Shoot him in the groin, Clayton.
Yeah, whether they believe they're a boy or not, they're going to feel it.
Good one. I didn't mean to incorporate that. Well played, sir. Well played.
Doug Wolf puts in there, hey, he puts penetrated deeper than my 9mm SIG Elite. Ammo, yeah, a good point. It did. And you guys have done some ballistic gel.
So we're going to do our own test out of Doug's with these things, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I'm going to bring along my little North American firearm.
So before we go, read some of Marty's comments here about the guy who got shot with the 22 in the forehead.
All right, let's see. Let me go find it here. Yeah, he put up there. He says a true story. He said it was my CC mini mags.
Yep.
He yelled, "Stop! I'm shot." I'm laughing because I know Marty, and I can just envision this whole thing as it's going on.
Well, we're going. And we're showing the video. Look, hey, Marty's probably the best coon hunter in the Upper Midwest.
Yep.
What do you say about after watching this here, Clay?
He says I'm getting those for coon this fall. Absolutely.
And coons are tough. You shoot them with a hollow point. Sometimes even like them little traps, cage traps. You got to get them a couple of times. Those suckers they're tough.
All I know is we need to get over there. You know what? We should go over there for a beaver hunt with Marty. Then we can ride in the boat.
If we can get some of them king beavers like that, man.
Yeah. Well,
queen beavers, I mean.
Maybe have to invite Leon to come along again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We could have some fun with that whole crew, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. All right, Clay. Let's hit the rest of this video.
Yeah. I'll get up here and.
I'm curious. I said 5.5 inches with the stingers. What are you guessing?
So I think it'll do that. Maybe more.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I mean,
let's get
stingers
this loaded up with the Stanger and see if the Stanger outperforms that punch in this ballistic gel.
Moment of truth. Oh yeah.
Oh, way farther than I thought.
Way far. Yeah. Wow.
I thought it was going to open up and stop. Man, that was pretty good.
I'm impressed. I didn't think.
All right, the Stanger went exactly the same distance as the punch. Maybe an eighth of an inch more. But I do notice about the Stanger, it never expanded. So it was like shooting a flat nose bullet anyways out of that 2-incher. If you shoot it out of something like a 5-inch, it may expand. That would give you less penetration. But it actually pulled the threads, and I can tell you it's hard to see it. We may have to get a top view here. The Stanger, there's not a wound cavity. It's just a straight line through the ballistic gel. It never gave us the permanent and the temporary wound cavity that the punch did with that flat nose bullet. It's just basically a straight line. So the punch actually gave us a better wound channel, and it also gave us about the same penetration as the Stanger. So in my opinion, out of a 2-inch barrel for self-defense, the punch, it rules supreme over the Stanger. Okay, so what have we learned here? I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, I am an ambassador for Federal and CCI ammunition. Forgot to mention that. I even got my own ammo with CCI. A lot of you,
if they're listening, we are taking any kind of suggestion.
You guys that follow my channel, you already know that. So, but the proof is in the pudding here. I absolutely positively would choose this punch ammunition in a 22 handgun if I had to use it for self-defense. And a lot of people say, hey, you know, there's no reason for use a 22 as self-defense. You need to go with a 25 or a 32 or a 380 or something like that. But a lot of people, people that I know, can't grip or run the slide on a centerfire gun.
Ooh, that's true.
Neither can they handle the recoil. I'd rather someone put 3 shots on target than miss all 3 times because they have rheumatoid arthritis or something wrong with their hands and they cannot shoot. I was going to make a 460 Magnum video today, but my hand right here is swelled up like all get out.
Oh, look at my arm,
so I can't shoot big guns right now. I almost broke my hand playing disc golf. So yeah, whatever. Yes, I play disc golf. But what we have learned here is that the punch performs very, very well. It is a good, reliable ammunition for self-defense, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Plinkster, why in the world are you making an ammunition video when we can't even find 22 ammo right now? Well, you can find it right now. If you go to Federal's website, you can actually get this ammunition. It's going to be to certain dealers, and they're going to sell it directly on their website. So I think it's pretty cool. I think somebody finally answered the question, is 22 good for self-defense with this new ammunition? I think it is a viable choice. Now, anyways.
Yep, I agree.
All right, man.
I'm not gonna.
No, that's awesome. I just one more time, Clay. Hey, 22 Plinkster, great video. Appreciate that. That was great, man.
Absolutely, really enjoyed that. That's why I kind of thought, you know what, this guy puts it together pretty good. And granted, he only used the two brands, but I saw similar videos with different ammo, and It's the same thing.
Guess what? Guns in the 701 is going to do their own with all three.
Oh, yes, we are. Yes,
oh, baby. Oh, baby.
I actually had another video loaded up, but that they were shooting at the end between 3 different ammunitions. But I don't know. I think this one did a pretty good job of putting forth what we were trying to talk about.
We'll get it done anyways, Clay. We'll get it done.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, I do believe that I carry a 20. How many times have you seen me carrying my 22 mag? Mm-hmm. It's just one of them little revolvers from North American Firearms. I can tell you right now, we shot it up there 2A day. Not too bad.
My daughter even handled it, man. My 12-year-old.
And she had a heck of a good time, and she was more accurate than I was with it.
Yeah, I was shocked watching her. She was shooting that hog. I was like, what?
We were actually getting some distance out of that particular little firearm. And then once I had her shoot it, then, she wanted to shoot it. I don't know how many times she shot that little gun, but I was glad to see it. And think about it. It's little, she's a small gal. She's young, and she could actually do a very good job. Me, my hand's so huge, and yours, we got big hands, and it made it a little tougher. But I was impressed with the way she shot that and how she did with it. And to me, when she turns 18 and starts carrying, possibly, maybe that's the gun she carries because
I definitely.
She already is familiar with it too.
Put them in there, and so just for Marty, because he called them a chin gun. When we do that ballistics test, we're going to hang it over the edge of the table and go right underneath it. We're going to give it the chin gun there.
Like you said,
put a little apple on top and see if we can get the
axe has the upper torso. So that'll be fun.
What we do, we're going to stick an apple right in the middle of there.
So. Eric, he's got on here belly crawl up on a prairie dog with those 22 self-defense rounds. I bet that'd blow him up good. I bet you're right.
I'd love to see that.
Sounds like a new challenge, don't it?
Yeah, you got to be pretty handy with the pistol.
Well, I got 2 of them. I'll borrow you one, Eric. Now, and mine have the little snubby noses. They make those even with a little longer barrel. I don't know if anyone has got one. Maybe we'll have to find one. It'd be nice if we could compare the 2 and see how that
Clay,
goes.
You take that Ruger you got, man, hammering that gong at 50, pretty easy. So if you get closer with a with closer to a prairie dog, you cut that in half. I'd be pretty confident with that thing. I could hit one actually.
Yeah, no, I love it.
I by no means think I'm the outlaw Josie Wales with a pistol, but I'm better than the average bear.
Eric says he's game. So here's what we'll do, Eric. When we get our date set, when we'll visit with you, because I want you to kind of go with us anyway. We're going to come down and shoot some prairie dogs again. We just got to get a date set up that works for everybody. Maybe we'll have to try that and do a little video. And that'd be awesome. Nothing else that'll make for a good video. Just to watch us trying to belly crawl up on a
Say hello to the federal punch, man.
I'm your huckleberry.
All right, Clay, should we do our double ad here and then jump into the 2A bullet points? So I hope everybody liked that. I like getting into some gear stuff like that. And then 22, I've never had a problem with 22. Except for the mini mags, I'm not going to shoot anybody in the forehead who drinks a lot of milk, I guess. Their bones are hard. But, that was pretty awesome. So, all right, we're going to run a double ad here, Clay, and then come back. And then I got a couple 2A BPs, and I'm quite sure my partner, Mr. Clayton Peterson, does as well. So here's a double ad. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored Guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by The Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, The Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932 or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right, yes, and we want to thank Laura Auto down there on 309 South Washington. If you want to get a hold of them, podcasters, mean you're not watching this, we'll give you the number 701-258-6308. And as you can see that our people who go there, they love the work. He does a great job, and you're definitely going to be satisfied. I know Brett's been there, Leon's been there, Scott. I mean, we've had a ton of people that have been in there, and they just love the work. And, of course, the Blind Guy, go to blindguynd.com, and Wyatt will get you set up with some of the best blinds you can think. And he's even got motorized ones. I was cruising his website. He's got motorized blinds. Now, that's what I'm talking about.
With remotes in them, Clay.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I'm actually going to be Monday. I'm actually going to be with the Blind Guy. We're going to shoot some prairie dogs.
Oh, really? We're down there on Cannonball or where?
I'm actually going to be with the Blind Guy and Marty's brother, and sounds like possibly the Laurado guy.
And that's on Monday, you said.
Yeah, south of Yates there on a big ranch. A guy we shot there before, it sounds like. So hey, stay tuned. And I'd say this too, Clay. If anybody come on Monday and they were looking why we weren't on in the crosshairs with Jay Dillon on KFYRplus.com, Jay was sick. So that's why that didn't happen. JR actually sent me a message from KFYR and said we could do a show later in the week. But I said, man, we just don't have time to get it in. So we'll be back on with Jay on Monday.
Yep, we will. And I don't know if anyone missed it or not, but I know a couple of people actually asked me, and I told them what was going on. So hopefully Jay's feeling better. I don't know if he was on today. I was out all day. So we will be back on next Monday in the crosshairs.
Yeah, Jay, stay off that Bud Light, man. That'll get you sick.
Oh, that's good. I hope he catches it.
Oh, crap. All right, Clay. So you want to hit it? You want to hit your two-way? I got two of them. How many you got?
I got two or three, but we can.
All right, I usually got
down
two.
to a couple. So
okay.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what we were talking about earlier about the different rules and where this thing goes, and like with SCOTUS and even with that. Well, I'm going to do the other one too, which is going to be that damn bill that even some Republicans voted for, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. But this is what we mean when we talk about it's all in who's in power. You talk about county commissioners or municipalities, and then if they get enough numbers, they're going to go in there and pass whatever they want. Well, so we just had a SCOTUS. We had a Supreme Court, basically a ruling today. It wasn't really it wasn't a binding rule, and it wasn't a decision. And it had to do with the stay with the BATF and the government, Garland, when they basically had to go to court. Texas filed it down there. It was Cargill versus Garland. And the court ruled at that time 13-3, actually. And it basically said, nope, you guys overreached. You overstepped, and we're not going to allow that to proceed. So then it basically put in place an injunction. They couldn't move forward. Feds didn't like that. And what do I always say? When the Democrats lose, they change the rules.
Yes, they do.
Well, they didn't necessarily change the rules, but they did skirt, and it is allowable, rather than going through the typical
Bill Clinton was a skirt chaser.
What's that?
He said skirt. I said Bill Clinton was a skirt chaser.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Caught a few, too.
Yeah, he did.
So they just went around and decided that rather than going through the procedures that you usually would go through, and they're not required to go through them, they just decided, and especially since that court was already leaning, and all through those district courts and the appellate courts were already leaning towards pro-guns, pro-Second Amendment rulings, they went ahead and just went right to the Supreme Court with this, and that was their right to do this. Unfortunately, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who, by the way, I did not support her nomination. I read her whole history pretty much when she was nominated, and she's a flip-flopper. She has been. You never know which way she's going to go. Boom. We are seeing that right now. And John Roberts has been horrible. That was a very piss-poor one that Bush put in there. Didn't surprise me that Bush picked that guy. The guy is... you never know when he puts his finger in the wound.
I don't know. They must have video of him doing something.
Yeah, I've never been impressed with this guy. But they basically extended the stay. They basically said, hey, in a nutshell, in layman's terms, I'm not going to go through all of this with you guys as far as to what was actually said. But they ruled and said, we are going to just wait and kick this out. We're going to allow it to go through and be implemented, which is a horrible, horrible decision as far as I'm concerned. And let it kick back over to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and let it work its way through. I imagine it'll go through. The Fifth Circuit probably will come out with the same ruling that the Circuit Court did. I have no doubt they probably will. And a lot of people believe the same thing on this. And then they may or may not appeal it. The government has not been very successful at the Supreme Court level in the appellate process. And the Supreme Court kicked it down, said, we want to wait for this decision. So they're waiting on that. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals will go ahead and take a look at it. And we'll see where it goes from there. But I just want everybody to know that this Supreme Court ruling does not mean the end of this. Doesn't mean they won anything.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they're going to get to implement.
It's like the bump stock thing or something we had a while back. Remember, they tried to jump it and shut it down too early. And I think they should have just shut it down and been done. But I guess they want people to spend a lot of money and make some lawyers richer. So they're going to have to go through this whole proceeding. We'll see where it goes. Now, if it goes to the Fifth, big guy needs a cut here.
Yeah, he needs his 10%. And if they do this and it goes to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and it's ruled in favor of the Texas ruling, it may be the end of it, and then it's the end of it. That will be a precedent-setting one. If Garland and the corrupt Department of Justice decide that they want to go,
a judge. You should have been a justice.
Oh yeah. If they decide to move forth with this, then we'll see what happens. It'll all be hinged on that decision. But anyway, that's my little bullet point. I wanted to address that because it was in the news, and I heard all kinds of stupid things today.
Yeah.
Oh, people were flipping out from our side, and they need to know that this ain't over. It's not a big thing. Did I like the ruling? No, I think it was the wrong ruling, but it did not affect what's going to happen in the appellate court.
I agree with you, Clay. I agree. I mean, rightly so. Our side overreacts to stuff because of the crap we see.
And I'm glad they're passionate. They are. They're like all of us. But just everybody know that the appellate court will make the final decision in this, and then it goes from there. If it's going to be appealed again, we'll know after that their ruling. So, yeah.
All right. Awesome. So, we're talking about Fargo right off the top of the show. Hey, Fargo, guess what? I got bad news for you here in one of my first bullet points. So. Oh, yeah. So we've talked about, the 1 million gun sales, right, Clay, every month. And then we had a story. I think, was it on Mitchell in the Morning? We weren't sure. They were saying July was like the slowest month for guns, and they didn't think we were going to hit 48 months in a row, 1 million.
I don't remember because we did one on both in the crosshairs. I know on Todd's. I don't remember which one we did. All
right. So the end of July, Clayton, marked the latest record in United States firearms sales. Commissioner Strand, that's got to make your rear end tighten up down there in leftist Fargo. 48 straight months of 1 million or more gun purchases in the United States. Clay, people used to call me, Obama, the greatest gun salesman.
Firearms salesman of the year.
Yeah, Joe beat you on something, Barack.
You know what? Both Barack Obama and Biden and Strand, you know what they are?
Nasty person.
Yeah, I had to take that opportunity.
The trident of nastiness.
Yes, they are.
So the just released FBI tally of background checks showed another sky-high number, Clayton. Woo. And this was down from July of 2022. 1,987,650.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, down from July 2022, but still more than 19 of the other 24 years the system has been in operation.
That's fantastic.
That's freaking awesome, man. I love it. Mark Olivia from the National Shooting Sports Foundation said the long stretch of gun sales is unlike anything the greatest nation in the history of the world has ever seen and has been fueled by politics and safety. I added a little bit in there myself. You didn't catch that.
I can tell you this. People have reason to be buying that amount of firearms.
Mm-hmm.
They just do. They just do.
Yeah, and hey, he goes on right here. This is good for national security, and America's founders knew this. You damn right they did, because those guys were geniuses, and they're the greatest Americans ever. Actually, any foreign force stupid enough to invade the United States would be met by a population that is armed to the teeth. And the leftists might end up meeting that if they keep up with their crap, you know.
They could. I mean, it.
Are you threatening people, JD? Nope, just saying.
Just promising.
Right here. All right, man.
You've got the shirt that says it right here.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, got that. Yep, Minnesota gun range right there. My uncle's a member, and when I was out in Minnesota, I traded him a Guns in the 7, which, by the way, Clay, not only was he wearing it in Minnesota, I seen him and his father-in-law were up in Devil's Lake on a fishing trip. Guess what he was sporting?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Baby. He was repping Guns in the 701 up there.
There's the flip side of that shirt. So, and I think we're going to have to come up with one of our own.
Yeah, we might not have to copy him exactly, but hey, Minnesota Gun Range, that's a sweet shirt.
Oh, I love it. And I got to show you one more other thing here, is I took these from your pictures.
There's my uncle and his father-in-law, Jim Walth, right there. Yep, we were playing mini golf in Deerwood, which, guess what? I won. That's right. And
sporting the gear,
looking good, man. They look a lot better in them caps than I do. I tried to really make it look good on my head, but I was like, you guys, which I'm happy with. Look, my uncle.
Whoops, wrong one. But yeah,
I like that one too.
Yeah.
All right, Clay, what you got?
I do have this shirt, by the way, guys.
Yeah, Clay's got that. He was wearing it out at
I like your uncle's cap. It's a nice color.
My uncle's black. That's my uncle's father-in-law, Jim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he loves the show, though. He loves it.
All right. I didn't know. Were you done with your bullet point? I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm done with that one. I mean, I'm jacked up now. I'm happy. Clay, you hit your second one. I'll hit mine, and then we'll go into to Clay's companies here.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know how the Biden administration loves executive orders.
Yeah.
And he's issued more than any other president. And that's just a way of doing things. If you can't pass them, then I'll go find some obscure area to try and do it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why it matters when you vote on these big-ass bills like what we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just go into it right away here. They basically, Biden's administration now wants to use executive orders, and he wants to weaponize the ATF even more. That seems to be their favorite thing, weaponize these alphabet agencies.
Nettlebach, he's right on with Biden, too.
Issue a rule limiting the private sales of firearms. Now, AmmoLand actually...
It's like Fargo.
Yeah, just like Fargo. That's why these two just went right into that. And I love how they call it. They call it the private sales loophole. Remember, it was always the gun show loophole. Now it's the private sales loophole.
I was wondering, actually, they're going to try and change that crap.
Oh, they do. They change terminology all the time. Digital loophole's another one, too. And what he's planning to do with this is, and this is exactly what he says, the Biden will call on the ATF to develop a new rule requiring anyone who makes any profit by selling firearms to possess an FFL. Oh, boy, that ought to get fun to try and enforce.
Hey, say that again, Clay. The bug was flying over here. It pissed me off. What did you say about it?
Biden will call on the ATF to develop a new rule requiring anyone who makes any profit by selling firearms to possess an FFL now.
So they want you to either sell your gun for less than it's worth or don't sell it at all, because then you'll be in trouble.
Or give it to somebody. But, who's going to determine that? I mean, most of these older guns especially, I don't know about you, I ain't got no receipt for them. So what, are they going to take a fair market value out of the blue book of
ATF
firearms?
Here, Mr. Peterson. We heard you sold a gun. We want to see if you made a profit.
Yeah.
Open up, please.
I'll be like...
we just want to talk.
You got a warrant?
Joe said we don't need those.
Well, you can look at this one. I'll give you a close-up look at it.
Your barrel's plugged.
Yeah. And here's the problem with this, though. This comes from, if you guys don't remember it, the BSCA, the Bipartisan Safer Communities
Act,
yeah. That we had Republicans
most comprehensive gun control in 20 years, Clay.
And John Cornyn sold us out as a turncoat rhino out of Texas. And this is what happens when you compromise. You cannot compromise with these people. They are enemies of our Constitution. There is no compromise, none on the Second Amendment, and nor should there be. But this is number 22, item 22 in the BSCA. The term "to predominantly earn a profit" now means that the intent underlying the sale or disposition of firearms is predominantly one of obtaining a gain, as opposed to other intents such as improving or liquidating a personal firearm collection, provided that proof of the profit shall not be required as to a person who engages in the regular and repetitive purchase and disposition of firearms for criminal purposes or terrorism. And that's the one they're using. They're saying that this one right here, number 22, is not at. And this is what happens when you get something you pass. Oh, and we're going to go compromise and sing kumbaya with our enemies, that being the Democrats.
We compromised. They didn't.
Yeah, we're the ones that compromise, and that's how it
they
goes.
Didn't compromise none.
Republicans always compromise. The Democrats never compromise on their stuff, ever.
Nope.
And then they take it and they use it, and they knew this is how they do it, to try and apply this now. So he's not going to out and out ban private sales because that's failed, right, in several bills. Instead, he's going to use an alphabet agency not elected by the people, who don't answer to the people, and they're going to subvert Congress and make a regulatory action based on an executive order that says, now, if you're making any kind of profit on your firearm that you sell, you got to have an FFL. If you don't, they're going to treat it as law, and they're going to prosecute you as somebody that's in the business of selling dangerous firearm, dangerous weapons or explosives, which is an FFL is required for. So I just wanted to alert everybody that this is what's happening. Basically, what they're planning to do is, looks like the rules in its draft form right now. It's expected to be announced later this year. After that announcement, of course, you're going to get a public comment period, which won't be worth the paper it's written on. You can wipe your butt with it. They only do that because they are required by law to have a public comment
so period. We can do what the Democrats like to do with the Constitution.
Yep, just rip it up. Yep.
And wipe your ass with it.
And wipe your butt with it. Wipe your Heidi. Anyway.
Pertain to nowadays.
The Biden administration then aims to reveal the final rule by late spring or early summer of 2024. How convenient. Actually, I hope they do. That'd be a pretty good idea.
I was going to say, man, you guys want to get the presidential election run kicked off with that.
And then they plan for it to go into effect by fall of the next year of 2024. Mm-hmm. Well, that may be, and they may go forth with it. And if things go right, it'll be reversed immediately. January 20th.
Selling and making a big profit before that.
Yeah, huge profits, right? It's still in its early stages of development, so the timeline is subject to change.
Hey, Clay, and if it does pass, guess what? That's just a good start.
That's just, I can tell you right now, this election is so important. Whether you like Trump or not, I don't give a crap. If you don't vote for the Republican nominee, whoever it may be, it's done. It's checkmate, and I'm telling you that right now. Yes, there's problems out there and I just saw the thing where 800 or 80,000 votes, or was it 800,000, were just discovered in Michigan. That's real now. It was all over the real news. Had vans pulling in there in the middle of the night, dropping off literally carts full of ballots.
They're all Democrats when they find them, Clay.
They're all Democrats.
Hey, we had 800,000 votes. 799,000 were for Governor Whitmer, and one was for Tudor Dixon. Didn't matter.
And at this point, I don't care what party they were for. The fact it happens is that's the problem.
Man, it's as much as I'm a right winger and I like right wingers winning. I don't want to win like that.
I don't want to win like that either. So I'm just telling you guys, it's so crucial this year. And coming in 2024. I shouldn't even say this year. We're ways out yet, but it is so crucial because if they win again, and they can even grab control of both houses,
15 months,
it's done. It's done because you will see the Constitution shredded more than it already has been. So anyway, those are the two things I wanted to bring out to everybody tonight because they're happening. It's kind of brand new. No one's probably heard of it yet. By the way, I did do some checking. I didn't have the details on it. Remember this afternoon and this morning I told you that the 1,000% gun tax is back?
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Oh my God! They roll this thing out.
You got to remember, this has been introduced damn near every single year for several years now.
Yeah,
and now it's back yet again.
The Democrats nationwide roll this thing out like the North Dakota Democrats roll Tracy Potter out every election cycle.
There you go.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you who's sponsoring this, guys. Virginia, you need to get your shit together. Plain and simple. Representative Don Beyer, Democrat out of Virginia. He's the guy that's bringing this forth. So,
is he House or Senate? House of Commons,
House.
I think they call it. Well, yeah, I think the Republicans took or did they take the House or the Senate? They're on the governorship. This
is a nation. This is from
he's like their national representative.
Yeah, this is happening in Congress, and they bring this every.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, everybody, please pay attention to that. We'll hit on this either next week, or we might even bring it up on.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an in-depth thing again.
We
might have to bring it up on what's that?
Mitchell in the morning.
Maybe. Mitchell in the morning, or maybe in the crosshairs. But we're definitely probably going to talk about it even next Wednesday.
Yep. All right, Clay. We're going to tell you what. We're going to do one more for our Lauer, and I'm going to hit my last 2A, which is going to be short. And hey, Fargo, if you're ready, brace yourself, baby. I got more bad news for you. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored Guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
All right. Again, thanks to Lauer Auto Repair and Doug and the crew down there. 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. 701-258-6308. Again, 701-258-6308.
Hey, Dougie, charge a little extra on one of these repairs you do and get yourself a nice butt pad for that 454 Casull.
That's a lot of fun to shoot, though.
Yeah, that black piece of iron on there.
Ooh, yeah. It was rough on JD.
Yeah, when you're buck 85 and had a couple shoulder surgeries,
You know, I don't even have a mark.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You know, that's what I said. Buck 85, little scrawny dude like me. Yeah, I'm a little guy like Kim Kaufman. I got little man. You know.
Hey Matt, good. I'm glad to see you tuning in. Tracy Potter. He's laughing.
You like that, Matt?
You like that?
I'm never gonna quit giving that turd shots. I guarantee you that.
David. That's easy. Every custom rifle built never sells for parts and labor at a more value. That's right. That's right.
Hey, speaking of that, Clay, real quick for my bullet point, as I showed you the shoulder bruise here, and I mentioned I'm going down in recoil again. Talked to Dave there at 1760 Sports. Got me a hell of a deal on a new Ruger American 6.5 Grendel. When I picked that up, I promise you we're going to do a full review on that baby.
Awesome.
And I got that muley buck tag, baby. A lot of people think that's underpowered. We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Eric says if you didn't drink Coors, you could handle it.
Right? That's maybe. I think I'm switching to Bud Light maybe and seeing if I can.
I got to say something. Being we're talking about David over there at 1760 Sports LLC. I think we're still planning to do it. I tried to give you a call today, David, but you must have been sleeping that early in the morning. I don't know. But anyway.
Damn truck drivers, they don't work too hard.
No, I mean, I see he tried to call back. Of course, I didn't see that till I got back right before the show today. We're in for that gun, and me and Jamie, we got a little surprised. I think we're going to do a gun raffle. I think we've talked about this before from Guns in the 701, but Northwest Shooters is the one out of South Dakota. They're going to sponsor the raffle.
I appreciate that.
And have the tickets available. That way we don't
give
have
them a free cap for doing that.
There you go. Give them a free cap. That way we don't have to worry about all the archaic gaming freaking laws in North Dakota. So they don't have to follow that crap in South Dakota.
Got a home rule charter up here.
Yeah, home rule. David said he was elbow deep in trailer bearings. That's not fun. So yeah, good luck with that. Hopefully you got it finished up and get it put back.
Don't touch. Hey, when my gun comes in, get that grease off your hands. I don't want anything on my.
Well, that says I probably didn't shoot it 12 times. I don't know. I shot it quite.
Well, the thing I did, Clay, is like I said. I don't want to say it again and keep trying to make excuses, but I mean, I did have. There's no meat left on one part of my shoulder, and I did drop the full power hollow point. Whatever. You know, no problem. Like I said, I'm a smaller guy. I don't have big, huge freaking shoulders.
Hey, Waylon, see you got 7 tickets left. Go ahead and hold on them. You can go ahead and keep selling them if you want. I know we're not going to be sold out by the fair this year on this particular gun. Not that it's a bad gun. We actually increased tickets, and I know there's no way we're going to sell out. And we don't have to be sold out till December 31st. That's the date that we gave ourselves. So go ahead and keep selling them. We're probably, last count I had, we're probably like 140 some tickets away from being sold out. And I just know we're not going to be sold out by the Grant County Fair, but that's okay. We'll keep selling.
Yeah.
And,
well, so if anybody up in
gun.
Mercer County is listening too, me and some buddies are coming up there this weekend. Saturday, the Golden Valley Rally is going on. They got the big bull riding event Saturday afternoon, and then I think Hermanson's got a bronc thing Sunday. But there's a big street party there Saturday night. Saddle Soaring on Main Street in Golden Valley. If you're looking for any of these tickets for this gun raffle Clay's got, I'm gonna have some with. So, and I'm gonna have some G&T701 gear too. So bring that cash, boys.
There we go. Get her done. And Jamie's got a new fresh supply of T-shirts.
Yeah, looking good, man. Looking good.
And,
all right, Clayton.
You can also hit our website, www.gunsinthe701.com. Go to the store, and you can order them online. And in all honesty,
finally,
yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Get on there, and we'll have them for you. And you can change. You can choose from other designs. We showed you the one with Trump. We got this one here that's got Reagan on it. I still hate commies even after they changed their name to liberals. And then we've got the one with Trump on there that says the same thing. I
want an AR on Trump's shoulder, man. I don't want the musket on there.
We could do that.
That's what you're supposed to have. Even Trump knows it's just a single shot.
I can't do that because I'm not that talented. But if we got
Who told us they could, though? Remember
John did. John says he's pretty handy with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we might have to have him do
My
that.
God.
My God. So, all right. Let's do your bullet point.
All right. My second bullet point, like I said, Fargo, brace yourself. Especially Commissioner Strand and Joel Latroll and Rob Porthole and Mike McPhoney. You're all going to be disappointed. What a beta male looking guy. All right. Here we go, Clayton. American Suppressor Association. Latest data shows that E-Form 4 transfers, Clay, have dropped from a high of 270 plus days down to a current 225 and continue to fall. This is one trend we hope to see continue as transfer times are still way too long. So what that means, that's for suppressors if nobody knows. Yeah. And E-forms are down. It's electronically filed like our buddy Brandon does over there, Man Down Sporting Goods, right?
Yep.
225 days. The paper forms, Clay, are 287 days.
Wow.
That's what, 62 days difference there. That's a couple months, man. I like that E-form. I mean,
E-form makes it way easier. It does.
Yeah. And so that's bad news. Fargo, more people in North Dakota are going to be getting their suppressors a lot earlier for you.
Yep. That's excellent to hear.
Those are only made, Clay, for people who poach stuff and the assassins. That's all those are for. They're not good for anything else.
Yeah, that's all. And they're
totally banned.
They're super, super quiet.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't assassinate people and I don't poach, and I love suppressors. So I recommend them to anybody. If you don't have one, get one. You will not be disappointed.
And we did a little suppressor fun, didn't we? We had that Ruger 2245 out and had a blast with it.
So, Clay, what'd you have? The 30 cal Lane LLC on that 22? Cal. That thing was just a kitten, man. That was so quiet. It was awesome. I love that. Those weren't subsonics either. We were running regular. Man, I mean, that's the kind of thing you need to teach people to shoot on right there for handguns. Start them out on that. I mean, you might spoil them when they actually shoot something unsuppressed, and they'll be like, no way.
But I enjoy shooting that gun. And
that was really accurate. That thing was
you did really good.
My brother-in-law's got one of those too, and it's just like yours. You got that little tiny, like smaller than my pinky barrel, almost looks like, right?
Yeah.
But just accurate as all get out, man. That's a sweet.
My next suppressor though, I am gonna buy is gonna be a 22 now, so that I can put it on my smaller guns. And I ain't lying, I want one for my Lapua. I really do.
Yeah, yeah. Axe has one for his, and I mean, man, there's like almost no recoil on it either when he shoots that.
Hey, Krampus asked. He says, "You bringing any gear to the fair?" Yes, I am. I plan to bring that along to the Grant County Fair. So everyone who's wanting to get,
hey, you need to get some caps from me then.
Oh, I can do that.
When you're coming up here next.
I can make a point to either me or my mother-in-law or someone will be coming up.
Yeah, we need to get you some down there for that.
So I'll bring some caps. I'll have some T-shirts. We'll be set up again with Daryl's Racing Pigs right there on the side of the Grant County Fair building. And that's August 18th, 19th, and 20th. That weekend, it's Friday and Saturday. So come out to Carson, North Dakota, and then have a great time because, I mean, it is. And I can tell you, Trampus and them guys, oh, my goodness. You haven't had barbecue till you had theirs. They do a hell of a job. So, yeah, no, I'll bring some long Trampus. Go to the website if you think you want something different and want a different design. Just go on there and go ahead and pick something out and just let me know. You save the shipping then too, so I'll just bring it along. But all right.
What do we got? Axe has got one comment up here. What's he got?
Movie quiet.
Oh, yeah. It is like that. And not only that, like I said, Clay, at 50 yards, I mean, the silhouette, like a man silhouette upper, I mean, bang that thing with, I think I missed it once out of 10 rounds, but it was great. 50 yards. I'm not Top Shot Dustin. I'm just JD. So
I do got to show one video before we go into the last two segments here of it's Eric Newman, good and loyal listener of Grizz's Taxi.
Oh, absolutely.
He was doing a little shooting on 2A day.
140. Okay, we're gonna see if it can blow this jug apart like the 350. All right, that was the answer. Nice.
All right.
It did. It blew that big water cooler jug to smithereens.
Yeah. And
that was Eric's favorite dance song, actually, too. I put his music on there for him.
Heck, Eric probably never heard that song. I guarantee
I guarantee you he didn't.
But if you want more cool little shorts like that, we got a bunch on YouTube. Jamie's been putting some up from this past weekend when we were out shooting. And, we had a good time up there. So we'll do it again. All right.
Yep. Awesome.
All right. Well, then I guess we better go. I want to do the Patriot Company of the Week.
Yeah, well, let's wait, Clay. Nope. Right. I was just going to say before I said Clay was doing Clay's Commie Companies, but Clay did some pitching in high school and he threw a knuckleball on me. So kidding. All right, Clay, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
And I'm going to cut that short because we want to keep going here. So, so my patriotic company of the week again is just like the last one I had. I can't tell you how much these people do, behind the scenes of supporting things that absolutely 100% protect our rights. And doing business with a company like that, to me, that's just common sense. I mean, if you have the choice, we don't always have that choice. But when you have a choice, especially in the industry they're in, why wouldn't you make that choice? I mean, I know they've been huge supporters of the Friends of NRA events, and not just, coming and buying a ticket and, spending $20 on a raffle. No, big sponsors, table sponsor at times, making sure that they're getting them dollars to where they need to be. And that's what those youth shooting programs. I cannot say enough about how patriotic this couple is with their business. So with that, it's one of our sponsors again, and it is the blind guy of
lifelong friends of mine.
And they're great friends with Jamie, and I've gotten to know them good here over the past year or so. And Tammy and Wyatt do a fantastic job. You can hit them at theblindguynd.com. Their number is 701-222-3932. And you're doing business with a local company that lives right there in the Bismarck-Mandan area. They've been there their whole lives, haven't they, Jamie?
701 natives.
And I mean, these people are the nicest people you're going to meet. I can't, Wyatt was on with Marty here a couple of weeks ago when he was filling in. And it was entertaining having Wyatt listen, and I appreciated him helping out there. They did it from the blind guy's actual shop. So, and then they're sponsors of this show, which, I mean, it's the best show around, and you can't blame them for coming on board for that. So, I really highly recommend, and they do all kinds of blinds. And these aren't these Walmart cheapos. These are quality blinds. They do window coverings. They do it all. And like I said, they got motorized ones. I've seen that on their website. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Might have to get him down here sometime.
Yeah, and if something goes wrong with them, they'll come back and fix it. I mean, it's,
That's another thing. You're getting service. You know how we talked about Freedom Host USA? Well, same thing here. You're going to get service. They're not just buying it and out the door you go. Don't want to ever see you again. No, they back up what
not only that, it's prompt service too. You're not going to worry about it. They're on time. You're not going to be waiting. Now, early is on time for these two, man. On time is late. So,
and it runs like a well-oiled machine, and they do a fantastic job. And let them know when you call them, hey, you heard it right here in Guns in the 701, and you appreciate them supporting your freedom, because that's what this is about. We have to stick together. And we said that last week too. We have to stick together, and we have to support these businesses that support us and support our freedom and our way of life. Because if we keep funding those that hate us and those that go to the woke agenda and ESG and all this other crap, well, then it's going to be checkmate. You can't keep fighting them forever. And to me, the Blind Guy of North Dakota is your patriotic company of the week, and we're proud to have him as a sponsor. So thank you, Wyatt and Tammy.
Yep. Thanks, Wyatt and Tammy. You guys are awesome. Great company, Clay. Good call right there.
Yep.
Doesn't get any better than that. America's the best country in the world. The Midwest is the best part of America, and North Dakota, in my opinion, and Clay's opinion, we're the top of the crop. And people like Wyatt and Tammy and the Blind Guy in Colorado, that's the kind of business you want to be with. So
absolutely
support them guys. Like Clay said, let them know you're happy. They sponsor Guns in the 701. And that's what we got to do, man. Clay nailed it right there. That's exactly what we got to do.
All right. That brings
Clayton,
us to the happy end of the week. Go ahead
that brings us to, guess what? Here it is. I'll know it. You bet. Happy ending too. Clay Peterson got that going a while back. And Clay, I like to do this now and then because I'm taking from the Armed Citizen Archives of the NRA, going back, Clay, to September 1961. And my dad was 10 years old back then, actually.
Wow.
And yeah, that's right. That's right. And this is this is kind of a brutal story here, actually. So I mean, if you didn't think it was rough back in the 60s and it was all nice and Beaver Cleaver stuff, here we go. So all right, so it's coming to us here out of Missouri, actually. Two hoodlums rushed into Floyd E. Mock's hardware store in Kansas City, Missouri, struck a customer with a gun, and began beating Mr. Mock. Mock's clerk rushed, hammer in hand, to his aid, struck one bandit on the cranium, and he was shot down. Even while being beaten, Mock reached under the counter, Clay. Oh, baby, guess what he grabbed, Clayton? We've been talking about it all night.
22.
Yeah, that's right. Grabbed his 22 pistol and opened fire. Although himself shot in the shoulder and groin, I don't know where, Mock managed to kill one of the thugs. He ended up going to the hospital. They never did say what Mr. Mock's condition was, but man, he killed one of them with his 22. Hey, and that's before they made the specialized self-defense ammo, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Man, I'm letting the other one come rushing the dude with a hammer in hand and give him a thump, and I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, that's another thing, Clay, we got to do. Not only support patriotic businesses, we got to support people who defend themselves like that, because the Democrats hate that when you defend yourself.
They don't like it. They want you to be reliant on them for everything, whether it's food, water, defense, and then they don't want you to be able to ever fight back. And that's what this is about. Everything you're seeing today, that's what this is about. This is the move that everybody's been warning about for decades. It's happening. We're living it right now. So, that was definitely a happy ending. Imagine taking a hammer to the head.
Yeah, man, attack your boss and you just grab a hammer and come rolling in, and then you get shot after you thump one over the head, man. That's some tough people right there.
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness!
Was it an assault hammer, or did it have the black handle on it then?
Black, and it had a.
My guess is in 1961, Clay. That was an oak hammer, right? Oak handle.
Yeah, that boy.
Could have probably hit him grabbed the head of it and hit him with the hammer, the handle on it, and probably got him.
Probably, and it wouldn't break.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run through before we quit here.
Yeah.
Eric Newman, he said, "Who needs barbecue when there's burgers and fries?" There's a story behind that. When we went to Florida hog hunt, mean, we traveled and all. We stopped at these great barbecue joints. We go in and what's he order? Burger and fries.
Hey man, Eric, I'm with you. I'm a burger man too. I love burgers.
Oh my goodness.
I go to a steakhouse sometimes. I'm like, just give me the burger. And they're like, what? Texas Roadhouse makes
there's a good one. Waylon wants to know if they do overhead garage doors screens.
Wyatt used to. I don't know that he's into that anymore, but we can ask him.
We can definitely find out. Yeah, we definitely can find out for you, and he'd be happy to.
I guarantee you, he's handy enough to do about anything. So
he might maybe make an exception for.
The only thing I'm more handy at than Wyatt is actually fixing on AR-15s. But other than that, he's got.
Well, you've helped him, haven't you? Helped him out a little bit with.
Yeah, just because I got long arms. I got that bruise now. I can't. So.
No, you can't.
Ooh, that arm wide. I can't. You got to do it.
I just hopped on his website. I was just going to see if he had anything on there, but he might.
I mean, I don't think so, but hey, actually, Waylon, I ordered another 100 can koozies from his wife. She did a damn good job in the first one. So yeah, well, I'm all out. We're all out of koozies, but we got more coming. So
perfect. Hey, I'm going to put this in the comments, guy, and this is going to be the blind guy's number. Just give him a holler.
All right, Clay. So I'll tell you what, every Friday at 7:40 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:40 a.m. Central Standard Time, Clay and I are on with Todd Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550 a.m. radio. If you can't get it on there, you can go on iHeart and then tune in on that. And we're on with Todd for about 20 minutes every Friday. And if you miss that, you can go on iHeart and download that podcast just like you can this and then listen in that way because that's why Todd has us on there. Todd said we're the best podcast on iHeart, and I'm definitely not going to disagree with him.
Me neither, no. And one quick thing, guys, Doug Wolf, our sponsor there at Laurel, he says, we either hang together or we hang separately. And that's
you
right.
Bet.
We got to hang together or we hang separately. And
so blind guy answered already. He said, we don't do those. They haven't found a good one.
Oh, there you go. Well, when he finds one, you know who to call first, Waylon.
Well, yeah. Good. Yep.
See, that's how it works. We got
exactly.
I'm going to point out something here on the podcast or if you're looking at the replay. We got our little QR code. It's actually working pretty good. You can scan that code if you want to donate something. If you can't be a sponsor but you'd like to help us out, that's how we do this. Between selling gear and our sponsors, and now we've got this going on. It helps. You can go all the way down to a $5 donation. You don't have to do 20, 30, 40. I mean, you can do whatever you want. And you can donate to Guns in the 701. Just scan that little QR code, and it'll take you right to the site. And we appreciate it. We truly do. And like I said, we don't really beg for money, but if someone wants to help keep the show going,
I mean, you're not really begging, but I mean, hey, if you don't think $5 is much, I guarantee you get $25. 20 people donating $5. That
covers the cost for Restream a month.
Yeah. We got two great sponsors, but I mean, we got other costs, and I mean, this it's time consuming doing this kind of thing, and anything helps, you guys. I can promise you that.
So as that, then Mondays we're on In the Crosshairs, KFYR streaming service. Just hit KFYRTV.com. Get the streaming service. I believe it says Live Now right on there now. There's a tab.
Watch live or live now, one of the two.
Yep. And choose Bismarck. They got mine on in Bismarck. Choose the Bismarck one.
Mine.
There. Yeah, they got both of them on there.
They don't got any two-way podcasts up there.
What's that?
We don't have any two-way podcasts in mine on.
You need to find someone to put.
I don't think we got any followers in mine on either. Actually,
probably not.
So, go ahead, Clay. I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah. So you can catch us there at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Boy, we did better than we did when we were trying to do our promo video right there, didn't we?
Yeah, that was something.
But that's In the Crosshairs with JD and Clay, hosted by Jay Dillon on KFYR TV, and that's the KFYR Plus streaming app. So, by the way,
KFYRplus.com. You can go right there.
If you guys have a Roku or you've got something set up on your televisions for the streaming app, just get the app KFYR Plus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the app is called, and you can watch it right there. It's free. Works actually really good. I've hopped on there before, and we're trying to see. I know JR was working on it to get those episodes back on. And for some reason, they weren't uploading, and you couldn't access them. Yeah. I have most of them, but not all of them. So
yeah. And like I said, last week Jay was sick, and the week before Clay had some technical difficulties trying to restream it or record it. So the last 2 weeks hasn't been on, but this Monday it's going to be 100% booyah.
Oh, yeah, I do have to, and I was going to tell you this later, but I guess I can tell you now. No, I'm not quitting. But on the 21st, I don't ever miss this. So I'm going to be helping out with the big roundup with the Kling Ranch up here for the yearlings.
Oh,
I get up early and I go do that. So we might have to either got to solo it or we have to find you someone to come in and
on
help.
August or September?
August. So
well, I can tell you who I'm going to have on right now if it's going to
Okay.
work. I'm going to have on the blind guy. We're going to be talking some
There you
training
go.
your pheasant dog.
Perfect. I think that'd be a great lead in because
Mhm.
pheasant season's right around the corner. So
Yep.
So just keep that in mind, everybody. If Wyatt can do it, he'll be subbing, and he did a good job, him and Marty. So I know he knows
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah, trust me, he's a lot more talkative than you saw in there. Wyatt's he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's I mean his bird dogs, the best bird dogs I've ever hunted behind were his two bird dogs. And the last one he had, that dog did little to nothing about hunting, and they kind of adopted it from a guy, and man, that dog ended up just being, I mean, just a bird hunting warrior, man. It was awesome. Not only that, it was real scrawny when he got it, and that thing just turned into a beast. So
Awesome.
then he's got a German wire hair now. They bought it as a puppy. Deuce is his name, and Deuce is coming along awesome. So Deuce is probably going to be heavily featured when we're talking about it on top of his other two dogs he had. So it's going to be fun. Hey, it's going to be a good show. Trust me.
And I'll just throw this out here. We got this gun. This is the Noreen AR-10, chambered at 30-06. Got the stainless steel engraved plating on it. Of course, then it's been Cerakoted. It's not blued, that's Cerakoted. So it's going to last you. You can take it out. You can use it. Hey, 30-06, it's a hunt rifle, right?
Yeah.
Hunt rifle.
Yeah, man.
If you need a ticket, right there.
Only thing it'll kill is a deer. That's it.
Yep, $20 a ticket. Like I said, I think we're down about 140, 150 tickets out of 500. So, we're almost sold out, but I know we will not be sold out by the Grant County Fair. So, yeah, if you need one, $20. I'm going to try something, and I'll let you know if I get it done. I'm going to try to put something on our website, gunsandthe701.com, where if you want to purchase one of these, you'll be able to do it on there. Otherwise, just get a hold of myself or Jamie, and we got tickets up in Bismarck yet. And you can right now we made our email real easy. We both see it when it comes in. guns@gunsandthe701.com. If you know us, go ahead and send us a text, and we can get you taken care of that way.
Like I said, I'll be up at Golden Valley at the Golden Valley Rally Saturday night. So if you guys are looking for any of those tickets for that, that's a sweet 30-06 AR, super awesome rifle. I've been around and Clay showed it to me. I've had it in my hands and $20 a ticket. I'll bring it up. You guys want something, guys and gals, whatever. I mean, hey, women can shoot guns just as good as guys.
Absolutely.
By all means. I think Serena. I'm gonna hit Serena up there at the saddle store to buy one of those.
And that's a sweet gun. It really is. I mean, it feels good in your hand. It's a nice built gun. And we want to thank 1760 Sports for getting us that firearm. And I know David. I think David still got some too. So maybe hit up 1760 Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Live stream every Wednesday night, 6:00 p.m. Mountain Time, 7:00 Central. Looks like we usually go about an hour and a half to an hour 45 anymore.
I was going to say about an hour and 40, 45 usually.
Of course, you can find us at gunsandthe701.com. All redesigned, brand new website. Got everything you want on there.
Awesome. Nice work.
Don't forget to read the blog. We got a new blog on there.
Clay's the blog man. Clay wants me to write some blogs. Man, I'm not a writer. It's just not.
I mean, I gotta
be honest with you, Clay. I flunked English like in half of it in ninth grade, and then again in 10th or 11th. I had to take like two English classes a year.
It auto corrects for you on there. So
I'm sure if there's a liberal listen, I can tell he sounds like a stupid knuckle dragger. Well, you're partially right there. My knuckles drag.
Go check out the site. Like I said, I really like the flow of it. I think it works way better. It's handier. And yeah, we really we want to thank Freedom Host USA for taking us on. And I wrote my big old FU email to Square.
Perfect.
Requested our money back, and I've heard that. Go figure, right?
Yeah, I saw.
Because you can't call them commies. They don't want to talk to nobody. So.
Good, because we ain't talking to them anymore either.
No, we're done with them. So, and like I said, everything is on the website, www.gunsandthe701.com. And
bookmark it, guys. Bookmark it. I mean, Clay and I want people to go there because if we ever do get booted off Facebook or YouTube, that's where we want people to go. So,
and they just did a big house cleaning on YouTube again. NBC of all places. That's a story we could have done. NBC actually they went through YouTube and gave a whole bunch of what they thought were violators of community standards on firearms to Google, and basically got them nixed. That arms arms list. They don't even sell firearms. It's just a place to list them. They got booted off of there.
Yeah. Well, they thought it was a gun sale thing because it said
Yeah.
arms list, just like Square did with us. So.
Just like Square did with us.
Hey, Square, guess what? I'm glad you did that because we're the freaking real Americans now.
That's right. We're not with a commie company anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Clayton. Hey, everybody, don't forget, get us on Friday, Mitchell in the morning, 8:40 a.m. Central Time, KFYR 550 a.m., iHeartRadio, and every Monday, Clay.
Sorry, I was reading the comments. He caught me there. Every Monday, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on In the Crosshairs with JD and Clay, hosted by Jay Dillon.
Real quick, Clay, got a thumbs up from the blind guy, so...
Good deal.
You're going to be guest hosting with me. We're going to be talking some bird dog. And, I mean, that's a blind guy's passion, but I can promise you this. He's got AR-15s and every other kind of rifle. The man can snipe some shit, so we're going to be talking some rifles, too.
Perfect. Glad to have him filling in. And like I said, I'll be out there chasing yearlings. And I look for it. I mean, you're 1,700 yearlings, rounding them up. It's fun.
Yeah. So, man, that's a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah. And they're bringing a hell of a price right now. He ought to be happy. That'll be over.
Ooh, hear that, Dad? Get ready.
Yep, they're doing good. Doing good. When you're getting them 1,300 pound yearlings in there or better, bringing 230 to 250. Oh, my goodness. You're talking big money. Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah, good. About
your old buddy JD needs a suppressor, man.
Going, hey, Dad.
yeah, no kidding.
Birthday gift. So,
I'll see what they look like. I haven't been up there in a few weeks. I'll be up there Saturday.
Lynette says, Jamie, I was an A student. I can help you.
Really? Okay, awesome, man. English is my worst. History, I was A or B. English, always terrible at it, man. I could give a speech pretty good, just... I could wing it just like I do on here. So,
all right. Well, everybody, we want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us go on for what, an hour and a half, an hour 50 minutes this time. So it looks like we're almost to a 2-hour show anymore.
Yeah.
And we don't have too many commercial breaks.
No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get Todd's cell number. We're going to throw it out there. Maybe we're going to see if we can maybe flood him and push K-Fire, get us and I don't want, hey, once a week. Don't worry, Daryl. Thanks, Waylon. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. But we'll see. All right, Clay. I'm gonna zip my mouth and I know what's coming.
You know what's coming. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you Friday morning, KFYR 550 at 7:40 a.m. Mountain, 8:40 Central Time. Tune in. Gonna have a great show. It's a great way to start your weekend off with some 2A news and who knows what we'll come up with. But again, thanks for listening, everybody. And as always, keep your powder dry. Catch you next week, everyone.